This episode is brought to you by BlueWaterCruising.com, where you can make your blue water cruising dreams a reality. Let the journey begin.
We ready? Hey guys, welcome to this week's Q&A. We are in the Maldives, back on the boat. It's been a while since we've put one of these out, and we're glad to be out here. We got a nice warm breeze blowing across the boat this evening. We got the northeast monsoons kicking in right now. But right now, we're going to jump right into the Q&A. The first question out of the box is from Mr. Haywoods. What does the yellow flag mean, and why do they put it on the bowl? The reason they do that is to let everybody know that you're in quarantine. You haven't cleared customs, you haven't cleared health, and you haven't cleared biosecurity in case you're carrying some disease. And that goes back hundreds of years. That's the way boats used to do it. In ports, when they'd come into ports, they would always hoist a Q flag up, and they would stay in quarantine for, and we call it a Q flag, they would stay in quarantine for so many days to make sure whatever plague or thing they was carrying killed everybody off the boat. And then anybody who was left must not be carrying it anymore, so they could come ashore. Same thing applies today. They don't want us going ashore. They want to make sure we don't have COVID, and COVID's a good example of how that works. And that's what the yellow flag is for. It's called a Q. We call it a Q flag. It's also known as a quarantine flag. And the minute you check into the country and you clear customs and immigration and biosecurity, you take the yellow Q flag down and you go about your business. Great question. Thank you, Haywoods. Moving right along. All right, next question coming to you is from Driver5. Is it a problem sailing around the world when you only speak English? Well, I only speak English, and really, I just speak Texan. You know, it's not been a real problem for us. Most of the world speaks broken English. English is a common language that a lot of people speak, and especially in Europe, those people over there, they speak 3 or 4 or 5 different languages. And so that's not really an issue. The one language barrier that we do run into sometimes isn't with speaking English as much as it is when you're buying foreign products on a shelf, groceries and stuff like that. They're all in foreign languages. And so there's great apps on the internet on your phone you can use. You can scan that and it'll tell you what it says. It'll transcribe that for you and put it in English. So only speaking English is not a problem at all. It hadn't been a problem for us in 6 years. So I hope that answers that question. Great question. Next question is from Eric Sandberg. During one of your question and answer episodes, please address the frequency of using the air conditioning. Many of us envision sleeping on a boat involves relying on a breeze and sweating all night long. Eric, great question. We get that question a lot. The reality is that you do acclimate. If you will get used to the weather and you'll get used to the humidity and the heat, your body will adjust. And after about a week or two, you will get used to sleeping with the hatches open. We don't run the ACs all night long. We shut them down about 8 or 9 o'clock. We only run them in the afternoon if it's really hot. And but I don't have a problem running them. I'm not one of these purist guys who, I'm not running my AC because that wouldn't be a sailor. Not that guy. I'll run that AC if I feel hot and I want to go take a nap. Turn that AC on, by golly. But the way we acclimate, especially when we come back to the boat, we were in Montana for the holidays. It was cold, and we came back to the boat, and we were all hot and sweaty, and it was hot here in the Maldives. It was about 30 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to tell you guys all of this in Celsius. And the way we do it is we turn our ACs on, and like when we first start, they're down around 22 degrees Celsius. And then over the week or so, we start cranking it up to 25 degrees Celsius, the thermostat, and then 26 degrees Celsius. And by the time we get up to 27 or 28, you don't even notice it cools off enough at night, you don't even notice that the air conditioner's not on. And if you don't want to run your generator all the time or run your ACs. But we like running ACs when it's hot. If I want to go down and take a nap and be comfortable, I'll do it. I have no problem running my AC. I'm not that proud. It's not a badge of honor for me to not run an AC. So there you go. I hope that answers the question, Eric. Next question is, I got to put my readers on, is from Kenneth Haynes. During blue water cruising, about how much does one have to pay if one likes to visit outer islands, or can one just drop anchor and wait for someone to come, and what type of payments does they accept, cash or credit? Kenneth, I assume you're talking about customs clearance fees and immigration and processing into a country. Most countries will let you anchor somewhere for a night as you pass through their country and move on. If you go in and drop, like in Fiji, if you go into Fiji from Tonga, if you're in Tonga and you're sailing across to Fiji, and your intentions is to stop in Fulanga or any of those outer islands, those people will report you to the Navy, and the Navy will be promptly there to confiscate your boat and fine you a lot of money. They do not like you dropping your hooks in certain places, and they want you to check into their country, and especially in times of COVID, they're very strict about not going ashore and stuff like that. So There is safe haven laws where if there's a storm out there or something like that, you can drop your hook and seek protection, but you can't get off your boat. You better be raising a Q flag up and letting the Navy know what you're going to do, or the local customs or Coast Guard, let them know what you're going to do. Sneaking into a country and staying in the outer islands is not something I would do, and not something I would encourage anybody to do, because you can get in big trouble from navies doing that kind of stuff, and from Coast Guards and stuff like that, and they might block you from going to the country that you wanted to go to if you tried to do something like that. So I hope that answers your question. And as far as cost goes, it does. Most of the time they take cash. Everything's cash, except like in places like Australia and New Zealand. I think they take credit cards for immigration and customs and those kind of things. Kenneth, thanks for watching the show, and that's a good question. Next question is from Kit Coors, C-O-E-R-S, Coors. I don't want to say Coors Light. Keith, I am buying a Gulfstar 44C currently moored in Kima. My question is about the FlexiTeek you did a couple of years ago. Am I considering using it in a cockpit? How do you like it? I tell you what, we put FlexiTeek on this boat, and it is wonderful. I love FlexiTeek. I like a teak look. Wooden teak is too high maintenance, costs too much money, and it gets hotter than the center of the sun. This FlexiTeek, we've got the second generation FlexiTeek, and it is wonderful. It's easy to clean. It's easy to keep up. There's no maintenance to it. It does get warm. It does get hot. I mean, it can get really warm to the feet. We put rugs and stuff down, you know, like little carpets and stuff, because it does get hot. I mean, when it's 30 degrees outside and there's no breeze and it's just beating down on you, it can get really warm. But it doesn't get as hot as wooden teak, and it's so easy to maintain. I love the way it makes my boat look. It makes it feel homey, and I like that. So once again, thanks for asking the question, and thanks for watching the show, Kit. All right, next question is from James Billington. Just wondering if they charge you to take trash ashore. That is a good question. In a lot of countries, they do charge. Here in the Maldives, they charge to take trash when you're in Hulamali or places like that. Other places don't charge. It just depends on where you're at. Some places charge, some places don't. We try to mitigate the amount of trash we take on the boat. We try to get rid of all the cardboard. We try not to bring a bunch of plastic with us. Yeah, some places charge, but most places don't charge to get rid of your trash. Thanks for watching the show, James, and I hope that answered your question. And guess what, guys? That's it for the question and answer tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you leave comments, ask all the questions. We love answering questions. I like doing these Q&As. And guys, make sure you check out bluewatercruising.com. That's the new website we set up with. We've partnered with another guy to help any of you guys out there that want to get into blue water cruising. You want to learn what blue water cruising is all about. Go check out bluewatercruising.com. We've put up courses over there. We're going to have all kinds of resources there for the blue water cruiser, and for those of you who are wanting to blue water cruise and jump off that hamster wheel, check it out, bluewatercruising.com. And as always, guys, I look forward to seeing you guys out there on the water.